has come to pass. See what the Lord has done. My name is Ifeoma Uche. I'm a citizen of Nigeria and I reside in America. I'm also an American citizen. My state of residence is Texas. I started my NCLEX journey in 2015. I graduated in 2013 in Nigeria School of Nursing, Jos. 2003. I graduated in 2003, School of Nursing, Jos. Then I came to America in 2012. So my NCLEX journey began. I used all kinds of resources and spent huge amounts of money buying review materials. None of them worked for me. One of the reasons why none worked though was because I was so occupied with so many things. I had my 3 children in Nigeria and the 3 of them were in the university at the same time, and I'm over here working several jobs to keep up with my bills here in America and also to pay my children tuition fee because they were all staying in different states, paying different lodge accommodation, food and all that. So I didn't have proper guidance of what to do and what not to do. So I was just like dabbling into the exam. If I fail, I go on again and on. That's how I was doing it. Nobody to tell me, hey, calm down, do it this way or that way. I continued. So I keep failing. Most of the time I tell my kids, hey, I failed again. Oh, I will cry and they will join me in crying. It didn't stop me from serving the Lord because I know him. He's a faithful God. He's such a good God that knows the heart of his children. I continued until 2022. A friend of mine, we worked together because we were like working with HIV wars and we are traveling around the world in HIV, learning HIV and all that, caring for people living with HIV. So we go almost all the countries, learn HIV and come back to Nigeria. In one of those trips, I came to America and all that. So that's how my journey began. So a friend of mine referred me. She passed from Nigeria. She called me that she has passed the NCLEX. I'm like, whoa, how? What happened? She told me there's a group called Sajpointe. I'm like, I'm interested. They said people are passing like mad. She gave me the number. I called boss Sandra Ajawo. I told her, ma'am, somebody gave me your number and I'm interested. She said, yeah. I said, how is the passing rate? Like he said, the person that referred me didn't tell me the passing rate. I said, I didn't work. He said, okay, I should give it a try. Will convince me. I'm like, okay. I enrolled in. That was in November 2022. I joined in. It was like going back to school that I left since 2003. I left school. It was like refreshing to me. I started the whole thing all over again because the content was just the main thing to talk about. I was going. I did so many things to stay away from phone calls. My job, I cut it down. All over time, I cut down. Everything that would distract me, I cut it down. So I continued. I passed all through the classes. That's the beginner class 1, beginner class 2, mastering class, and basic class. So I was like repeating the basic class. Then by is it in July, I called boss Chris that I want to do one-on-one. No, NMC. I told him I want to do one-on-one. He said, okay, he will refer me to boss Chris. He referred me to boss Chris. Boss Chris referred me to Flo Bala, who was my one-on-one tutor. What I did differently, as I said, was to cut every social gathering, cut down my job to the minimum that can pay my rent. I cut everything down. I didn't go through it. And I continued. Word was also my best friend. I purely use Sajpointe. I use Sajpointe, purely Sajpointe. The question, everything. It was already too much for me when I go to work and come back in the morning because I do 12-hour shifts. I come back in the morning, I am so tired and exhausted. Then I wake up around 10 o'clock and go into Boss Flo Bala's lecture. I will barely eat. By 12, I will eat. Barely after eating, I'm already into the general class. I have word to pass to her. I have the Q-bank question test to answer. Then I will not even sleep up to 1 hour or 30 minutes. Already I'm off again by 5 to my work. It was really tedious. I continued. I gave it my all. I want to thank God for the people that stood by me. As I said, Sajpointe teachers, they were wonderful. First of all, my thanks goes to Boss Sandra Ajao. She's a born teacher. She's the born people of God. She literally puts EKG into my brain. Because when I schooled, I don't know anything about EKG much like that. I don't even know whether we talked about EKG in School of Nursing back home. If we did, it was not as in detail as what I was seeing here, you know. Then when I met Sandra Ajao, the boss, she's too much. She literally put EKG into my brain, and pharmacology was the bomb also. I want to thank Boss Florence or Flo Bala. She's amazing. She was so much on me, encouraging me. You can do it. Even when I wanted to shift the exam, she was like, no, I trust you, you can do it. Even when I was not even scoring so much in my word, I was scoring like once I scored 80%, the other one 70. One time I got 69. Even though it was not encouraging, she keep pushing me. You can do better. Improve on it. This is not what I want from you. She was there for me. She was there for me. Even when I went to the exam, she couldn't sleep. The time difference, she was waiting for me. And I finished my exam in the evening. She was awake on my way coming back. She texted me, how was it? She didn't relent. She was an encourager. She was just by my side every minute, telling me how I can make it. I shouldn't relent. I want to thank all the bosses in Sajpointe. They were also wonderful. All of them, they were wonderful. I don't even know who to mention's name or who to leave out, but they were amazing. All of them, they were good teachers. In fact, they are so much. I also want to thank Boss NMS. He really encouraged me to go for one-on-one, which he referred me to Boss Chris. Boss Chris too was amazing. He will tell me how to go about this. He will encourage me. Let me know if you have questions. He was just too much. He was there for me. I want to thank God for my husband, for all his patience. He didn't go off on me. Even sometimes people will call me back from back home. I'm not picking anybody's call. When it's too much, I tell them, hey, you know what? Leave me, I'm studying. Those that were looking for money, hey, leave me, I'm studying. I want to thank my kids. They were amazing. You know, one other thing is that I had one of my child that came here to do his master's on scholarship. I didn't know scholarship was not other scholarship. But I thank God. That was one of the things that made me was overworking myself to make sure that that boy graduated, because I had a lot more to pay until he graduated May this year with his PhD. I am so proud of him. Then, look at what God has done for me. The most important thanks go to Almighty God, the one that lives in heaven and make the whole world his footstool, the one that clothed himself with light as in garments. Their mama macha God. Do one area to ego. Obaranki toku bironia. I thank him so much. I owe him all thanks and adoration. And I know he did the miracle. Because when I was writing this exam, I got up to 145. My computer did not shut down. It continued going. I started calling on him. I said, Father, this is your exam. I have done my best. Perfect that which concerned this exam, because I cannot afford to fail this exam. If not for anything, for my boss, Flo Bala, she's so amazing. She stood by me, telling me how God will help me to make it. Until I got to 150 questions, my computer shut down. Lo and behold, I passed. I just want to advise international students that you can make it. If I, that left school 20 years ago, was able to scale this NCLEX for the past 8 years, and I scaled through, you can too. You can do it. You can. Just follow Sajpointe. Do all your classes. Don't miss any test. Do your U-word. You will scale. I want to thank everybody. Thank my neighbors, my church members that pray for me, my friends that stood by me. I am grateful. Thank you, Sajpointe. Thank you. I am grateful.